Now we're looking at putting everything together that we've learned about factoring polynomials to apply to polynomials where we're not told what the pattern is, which is what I was referring to in the last section's triad exercises. That's probably the most difficult part of factoring, is recognizing, well, what is it? The first step, as always, is exactly the same. We look for a greatest common factor, and then we factor that out. So in what we're given in this triad exercise, we have 8y cubed plus 16y squared minus 24y. So I'm going to write that back down over here. 8y cubed plus 16y squared minus 24y. Now let's look at what are the common factors in each of these. So we have 8, 16, and 24 as our coefficients, negative 24. But if the leading coefficient is positive, we're not factoring out a negative. So we're just looking at the actual numerical values, 8, 16, and 24. What is the greatest common factor of those coefficients? Well, 8 goes into all of them. 8 is 8 times 1, 16 is 8 times 2, 24 is 8 times 3. So we know we can factor out an 8. Now what about the variables? We have y cubed, y squared, and y. So the greatest common factor of all three of them is just y. So we factor out the 8y. That leaves us with y squared, because 8y times y squared is 8y cubed, plus 2y minus 3. So now we're going to undo FOIL. We have our 8y, and we're left with a trinomial that is a quadratic. So we want to know what two numbers multiply to negative 3 and add to 2. They multiply to our constant, and they add to the coefficient on y. So we know we're going to have two binomials if it does factor. And we know the two leading terms in those binomials are going to be y. And then we also know, because this last, what's being subtracted, the constant, is minus, and that what's being added in the middle, our y term, is positive. It's being added. Since it's plus 2y minus 3, we know that one of these is going to be negative. So y minus, and one of them is going to be addition. One of them is going to be subtraction. One of them is going to be addition. And the reason we know that is because that's the only way we can get a negative number when we multiply and a positive number when we add. So what multiplies to negative 3 and adds to 2? Well, we know that the factors of 3 are just 3 and 1. And we know that it's going to be the larger of the two that is going to be the plus, because we end up with a plus in the middle. So y plus 3 and y minus 1. 3 times negative 1 is negative 3, and 3 minus 1 is 2. So there is our factorization. Now neither one of the binomials can be factored. So all that's left is, this is our solution, so all that's left is we need to check our solution. And we do that by multiplying back through. So to check, we'll multiply the binomials first. So we're going to have 8y out front still. And then y times y is y squared. So we're going to redo the FOIL now. Y times y is y squared. And then the outside is y times 3. So plus 3y. Negative 1 times y, that's minus y. And then negative 1 times 3 is minus 3. Combining like terms, that gives us 8y times y squared plus 2y, 3y minus y, minus 3. And then if we distribute the 8y times y squared is 8y cubed, plus 8 times 2 is 16, y times y is y squared, and then minus 8 times 3 is 24, and we still have the y. So 8 cubed plus 16y squared minus 24y, our solution checks, because when we multiply it back through, we get what we originally started with, and that verifies that our factored polynomial is 8y times y minus 1 times y plus 3.